Today's starting lineup for the Clemson Tigers, and Scott, this is a lineup really led by the 3-4 spot, Cagle and Gombarda. Powerful 3-4 combination there in the lineup.
They are definitely the heavy artillery for this lineup. They drive in runs in bunches. They feed off of each other, and they're going to be a tough out for the young pitcher, Jenna Green.
Defensively for Presbyterian College, Tweed, Meadows, and Alexis Meadows is in right field. Hyatt at third, Cross, Petty, Whites on the infield as well, with Lath Freeman behind the plate catching. And there's a look at a very good, maybe one of the better freshman pitchers in the country. She already has the single season record for strikeouts for Presbyterian College, and she is only making her 12th start of the season today. That is remarkable.
She is 13-1 with a 0. That's a 0.97 ERA. She's worked 101 innings and has 124 strikeouts. Opponents are only hitting 142 against her. I mean, I would love to be her campaign manager for pitcher of the year in that league.
No doubt. I said 12 start. It's actually her 15th start of the season. But team highs and also leads the Big South Conference in innings pitched, strikeouts, ERA, wins, you name it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a outstanding start to a career.
Lifted in the air to left. That's over the head of Tweed and bounces at the wall, but getting tripped up at first base, it's Pereira. First base monster gobbled her up, and she has to be content with a single. Good to see her smiling about it, though.
I've seen a lot of slow players stretch a double into a single, but this is not the case. Pereira runs very well, and she stumbles as she rounds first base, and she has to scoot back. She's laughing about it.
She thought she was going to have her 5th double of the season.
Yeah, and she would have had it easily, but you got to stay afoot.
First pitch up and outside to Grace Matamore. Junior from Ashburn, Virginia, an Army transfer.
Hits .338 on the year. She kind of gets lost in the shuffle with Cagle and Gombarda.
She really does. And then you look down and she leads the ACC in doubles with 10. Here's a throw down a second, and just able to get the right hand on the bag. It's Pereira, a stolen base, the 3rd this season for her.
And the umpires are going to get together to see if she didn't slide off of the base. Let's see what we got here.
She did come off the bag. Ooh, that was close, wasn't it?
I personally think she got back, but it was awful close.
It really was.
Yep.
This is a Clemson team. They will take off every once in a while, Scott. 28 stolen bases now this season.
And there's a difference between team speed and a team aggression. And I would describe Clemson as an aggressive team, not a speedy team. And I think they would say that. But they do pick their moments, and they're unafraid to run.
2-1 the count on Matamore. Very patient hitter. Leads this Clemson team with walks as she swats that foul. 2-2.
I've pointed this out in other broadcasts, but if you watch Matamore, she employs a split hand grip. Her hands are not bumping up against one another. She's got about a half to 3/4 of an inch space between her hands on the bat barrel.
And what does that do?
That gives her better bat control, is the theory there. That was made famous way back in the 1920s by a player by the name of Ty Cobb in Major League Baseball, so a lot of people will know that name. But he played his whole career with a split grip.
Also has her middle 2 fingers taped as well.
Yep.
Payoff pitch, good eye. There's another walk. That's her team best 21st walk on the year.
Like I said, she does this a lot. She just kind of gets caught up in the shuffle with Gombarda and Cagle, but she does her job. She gets aboard, and now the thumpers are coming up.
Valerie Cagle, a freshman, Been an RBI machine this year.
She has. Struggled a little bit in the pitch series. I thought she was pressing, trying a little bit too hard. But when she's relaxed and she's in place within herself, she hits it as good as anybody.
That's upstairs, 1-1. So Cagle, even as a freshman, she's already been the ACC Player of the Week already a couple times. February 18th and then March the 3rd.
So we've played 6 weeks of college softball in 2020, and 3 out of the 6 weeks, as Cagle files that back, 3 of the 6 weeks, the Clemson Tigers been Player of the Week. That's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad for a first-year program.
That's not bad at all.
1-2 the count on Cagle.
There's a picture of Johnny Ballgame out there coaching third base, John Rittman. Very fine head coach of the Clemson Tigers.
Here's a flare, foul territory, giving it a chase and out of the reach of Hyatt. So new life here for Cagle.
Yeah, she just got enough of it and hit it just far enough to extend the at-bat. She's very pensive right now, is the word I would use in the batter's box. All it'll take, though, is one good rip, and she'll be right back on the beam.
1-2 it stays on Cagle. Started every game this season for Clemson.
Yeah. And I can understand why after watching her play. She is an excellent player.
With 33 RBIs, 5th best in the country. As a freshman, that's high, 2-2.
Well, you know, it's really interesting. You know, Clemson is an expansion team, a first-year program, and they actually have the more experienced lineup today. And what I mean by that is they have several players that are from the transfer portal.
Right.
They've got a senior, and they've got several juniors in the batting order. And you look at Presbyterian, and they're just they've got 1 senior, 2 juniors, and everything else is freshmen and sophomores. So even though they're a first-year team, Clemson's actually got a little bit of an edge and experience on Presbyterian starting lineup. Seeing a good battle right here between Cagle and Green.
John Rittman likes it. This is the first time in his career that he has ever coached against Presbyterian College.
I can believe that.
18 years at Stanford, a couple years at Kansas as an assistant coach. So this upcoming pitch here from Green, this will be pitch number 10 to Cagle.
Number 10. Great at bat, great battle. And usually when a hitter sees this many pitches and fouls off this many, the advantage really goes to them, and the odds of getting a base hit out of it really rise. We'll see what works out here.
Just got a piece of it.
Going to number 11 now.
I think Cagle has seen everything that Green has to offer.
You would think. We've not seen a changeup out of her yet. I don't know if she has one.
Driven high and deep to right center field, converging in the outfield. This is Hunter Meadows that brings it in, and tagging from second to third, it's Pereira. Staying put at first, it's Matamora.
And that ball was driven to the deep part of the ballpark. The wind blowing in from right to left. And I think that might have kept the ball in the ballpark because the center fielder was able to track it down. Meadows got over there and got under it, but on the play, Pereira tagged up and moved to third, so you've got runners at first and third now, Graham.
Clemson trying to take advantage of it, but you are right. The wind is howling in towards, the third base dugout right now.
Mm-hmm.
Going very hard. First pitch outside on Gumbarda.
I don't mind that as long as it doesn't blow in toward the third base side press box. That's where we are.
If it does happen, you have to catch it, okay? (1-0), too far outside, 2-0. Gumbarda, 11 home runs, tops in the ACC. Now, what do you do here if you're Green? I mean, do you challenge her?
Well, you got to be very, very careful, but you really want to try to get back in the at bat in some way. But she was working way away that time. So now you're 3-0 with her. I guarantee you she's got the green light. I guarantee you she's got the green light. But it's going to be in a little bitty zone. So if you're green, you better be very careful on placement here.
She takes it 3-1.
That was a pitch on the outside part of the plate. Obviously, that's not what Gumbarda leans on. She wants a ball that she can pull. But she'll be wide open for business on this pitch. The zone will be a little bigger for her.
Skies one, playable in left field. Will it be deep enough to drive in Pereira? Tweed makes the catch, fires to third, and Pereira will tag up and score, as does Matamor. First to second on a sac fly from Gumbarda. Clemson strikes first in the bottom of the first, 1-0.
And that's a productive at bat that time, even when she doesn't reach base. Gumbarda scores a run for the Tigers. Be her 31st RBI. That places her 2 RBI behind Cagle. And that's going to bring Hannah Goodwin up. And as you said, Matamor's now out at second, so perhaps she scores on a single. And if you're Jenna Green, if you can somehow coax an out here, you've really got yourself out of a jam pretty well unscathed. I mean, you're only giving up 1 run.
Absolutely. And remember, her ERA coming into this game was sub-1.
Yep, 0.97. And she's got to keep it, Presbyterian in the game, because Presbyterian does not score buckets of runs like the Clemson program has done at times this year.
Yeah, coming into this weekend, Presbyterian College averaging 4 runs a game. Look out, if you're the home plate umpire there, that was close.
It came through and said hello, didn't it?
Swing and a miss. First punch out of the game for Jenna Green. So Green, a lot of strikeouts this season, most in single season program history, records her first of the afternoon, but Clemson on the board after 1-0.